Hi, guys, and welcome back to another episode of YourViews Podcast. I'm your host, Natasha.
And you guys know this already, but I am Dems, your co-host. Sometimes in-house tech support. You know how it is. We're at episode 5 already, guys. So if you haven't already, you know what to do. Subscribe, like, drop a comment.
In today's episode, we have two influential ladies of our community sitting with us talking about our beautiful.
City of Grande Prairie, but let's do that again, though. We have two influential, powerful,
Powerful, yes.
highly involved
Yes.
ladies here to discuss the city of Grande Prairie.
Yes.
Right? So on our podcast today, guys, we have Mariah Braun.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah, you got
now,
it.
Mariah is the CEO of M3M Marketing, also the CEO of M3M Studio. And that's where we're at today, guys. Our podcast is filmed at M3M Studios, hence the enhanced quality. You know what it is. And we have Miss Joan Nellis. Now, guys, if there's anyone who wears a lot of hats, it's this lady right here. Now, she's the CFO and co-owner of Renco Equipments. She is the board chair of trustee of Grande Prairie Public School Division. And there's so many more that I can't get into right now, what she's going to get into. But Mariah is also on the board of the Chamber of Commerce Grande Prairie.
Yes, as well as the Peace Region Independent Media Arts Association.
You're going to have to say that again.
Prima. The Media Arts Association here in the Peace Region. I sit on the board there too.
Gotcha. Okay, and what did I forget to mention about you, Joan?
I don't think you forgot to mention anything, but well, you know what? I'm from Grande Prairie. I've lived here my whole life. I work with Tasha, which is great.
Really, it's great.
Depends on who you ask, right?
I'm asking me and Tasha.
Right, but that's fantastic though that we have two ladies here who's pretty much a part of the community that they have pretty much lived all their lives. So you guys are the perfect persons to talk to about today's topic, which is everything you need to know about Grande Prairie. Now, if you guys don't know what Grande Prairie is or where Grande Prairie is located, Grande Prairie is a small town located 5 to 5.5 hours north of Edmonton in the province of Alberta. Population roughly 70,000 people. And one of our mission on our channel is to bring awareness about Grande Prairie because we moved to Grande Prairie back in 2019, and before all we could find is just some old photos.
Vintage photos.
Some vintage photos of people riding horses and all these things, right? So that's one of our mission. So Maria, give us a little background about yourself.
Born and raised in Grande Prairie. Yes, we are unicorns, I guess. That's what they call us here. Yeah. Yeah. You know, I've lived here pretty much my whole life. I've maybe moved to Vancouver Island for maybe 2 years, and then came back because I missed my hometown city, of course. And yeah, I've just been here building a career, helping community, bridge connections. That's
pretty much it.
Yeah.
What about you, Joan? Tell us a little bit about yourself and your overall experience being a part of the community of Grande Prairie.
Yeah, so same with Mariah. Born and raised here. I did live in Peace River, Alberta, which is about 2 hours north of here. And then I also lived in...
Grande Prairie.
Yeah, and I also lived in Dawson Creek, which is about an hour and 15 minutes away. And that was just for work. And I would just like to say we're about 4 hours north of Edmonton.
Yeah.
I was
You're driving 5.5 hours.
4.5 hours.
Listen,
Way
Google
too
Maps.
slow.
we drive the speed limit.
Nobody is. No, that's way too slow.
Okay.
I've never taken 5 hours.
Listen,
Even before it was twin.
Yes,
you know, the separated.
Then it was closer to
Yeah.
five, maybe.
I
But
can't believe I'm being embarrassed by these ladies, but you know what? Guys, it takes me 5 hours to get to Edmonton. Let me just say that, but 4 hours for Joan. And you know what?
Yeah.
It's because she's probably a true Albertan and she drives nothing slower than 120, I guess.
well, that's yes,
part of
but in Alberta, you embrace it.
That's true. I'm still getting used to it. The speed limit is 110. I'm going 112, and I feel someone right behind me, like,
Yeah.
get out of the road. I'm like, what's going on?
We're in a hurry in Alberta. Lots going on. Yeah.
Okay, so you lived in Peace River.
Yeah,
And
so we have locations, have shops in Peace River and Dawson Creek. So I worked there at our shops. But I'm a Grande Prairie girl and grew up, and my dad was born here as well. And he was always, you get involved if you want to make a difference. You want to see change, have a voice in the change. And so that's, you say it like how do you find the time? But you just do what's important to you, and you
Gotcha.
make it better, hopefully.
So, Maria, if you had to describe Grande Prairie in a sentence or in a word, what would that be?
Oh, that's really tough.
I'm glad you got that first.
Yeah, no doubt. You put me on the spot. How would I describe it? It's this melting pot of people who usually have come from somewhere else, right? Even my grandma, of course, they landed from Guyana to Toronto, the usual kind of path.
Yeah.
And then they came to Grande Prairie for opportunity. So
Gotcha.
if I were to describe it in one word, it would definitely be opportunity.
Opportunity.
Yeah.
Nuts, you're a little bit too quiet for my
I know,
liking.
I'm just
What's
listening.
up? What do you think about Grande Prairie?
That this is one of the best places that you can come to find your path if you want to venture in any area of your life, like business-wise. This is the place to be. Yeah, it offers you a way of what do I say now? Opportunities that is not available somewhere else.
Okay.
There's a lot of entrepreneurs here, and you can become an entrepreneur as well if you choose.
If you choose. And I think that's fantastic, actually. The word opportunity keeps coming up because Grande Prairie is known as a transient city, like place where people come, they work, and then they move on just for the opportunity. But you have a business that keeps you here. What is that like owning from a business perspective, right? What is it like owning a business in Grande Prairie? And is it something that you would encourage persons to do?
Oh yeah, Grande Prairie. It's the connection that business people have to each other. It's different here than in other places because we might be kind of small and we might be kind of big. So if you want to meet people, there's definite blatant avenues you can go to meet business people and to get support and find out and make connections. And Mariah and I met, I think, at Chamber. I'm not really sure where we met, but I think it was probably at a Chamber meeting. And it's very blatant. You know, we as a community, we like to support new businesses, I think. And I think that there's always someone who would sit down and talk to you and help you and mentor you and all of those things. So
Okay.
it's
And I
important.
put the same question to you, Maria, because you also have a business, right? A different type of business. Now, as we mentioned, Maria is the CEO of M3M Marketing, which is essentially a marketing business. How do you find marketing in Grande Prairie?
Yeah, it's a little, how would I say this? It's a little bit a mix of old school with a little bit of new school. It's like some people have these traditional views when it comes to marketing.
Like
and then
RENTEC?
yeah, well, there's those classic jingles.
So just so we're clear, I wrote that.
Do you want a job?
I wrote that on a very slow afternoon at work with a few people. It was fun.
That's
No,
brilliant.
Natasha will tell you, like, I joke about that all the time. I'm like, oh my God.
I know, I get it too. I won't tell you what they call me. Yeah.
So old school, new school.
Yeah, it's a little bit of everything. You know, new businesses popping up, trying to get themselves out into the market. And then there's, you know, some of these older businesses who are trying to do different things or push their limits, grow. So I really love being in the marketing industry because it's part of the development of a business, right?
Yeah.
Like it helps a business grow and thrive and be seen and,
Yeah.
and recognized, right?
So we're talking a lot about business. We're talking a lot about the good stuff about Grande Prairie. But what area would you say there needs to be improvement in Grande Prairie? If you should look at a particular area, it could be entrepreneurship, it could be social life, it could be diversity, it could be anything. Where do you see improvements in Grande Prairie, that room for improvements? Like if somebody moves to Grande Prairie, what type of challenges do you think they would face? Tough question, right?
Well, I think not dissimilar to a lot of places in Canada that housing is a little bit of an issue. Buying a house is pretty affordable. This is one thing that is not the same all around Canada, all around Alberta. You can buy a house for a reasonable amount of money, but finding an apartment building, for instance, finding a place to rent or a place to get in the market with a house can be tricky here. We don't have enough housing, especially with the need that we're seeing. You know, we have a beautiful new hospital. We are hoping to have more doctors and nurses, and we're hoping to build schools and have more teachers and educational assistants. And we just don't have a lot of places to put all of them.
Is there anything that's just to follow up on that answer? Is there anything this, to your knowledge, that's being done to change or to improve that?
Yes, I sit on a committee for the city of Grande Prairie, and I know there's definitely work being done on trying to make affordable housing a thing, or even spur on, and it doesn't have to be, you know, quote unquote affordable housing, but making more dense housing a reality.
So more availability of housing, pretty much. What about you, Maria?
Yeah, I'm going to go on that same theme. It was definitely, when I was kind of thinking about it, it's just housing and development overall. Like we want to see more businesses, more people here, more houses being built, because overall as a community, we all benefit from those things, right?
Absolutely.
Like we get more things to do. We get, you know, different culture food here, all those kind of things. And that happens with more population growth.
Absolutely.
Right?
You had me at food, actually, because like it's the same thing. Like we're from Jamaica, right? And we're used to having that multiplicity of options. We can go and we can get, if you want you probably not gonna know what I'm talking about, but if you want a patty or if you want a jerk chicken or whatever, you can go and get it.
Variety.
But here, it's either you're gonna go and get a burger, a pizza, some fried chicken. You know what I mean?
Indian food.
Yeah, there's not much. There's not much options.
Like Caribbean wise.
Not just Caribbean wise, but just on a wide scale.
Sure.
It's more like the same things. It's the same kind of things. Disagree?
Well, yes and no. Okay,
Yeah.
maybe it's all about perspective because you know, being born and raised here, we've seen
a lot of growth.
A lot of growth. Okay. We've come so far. I'm sure there could be improvements though.
Yeah.
Like it's all about perspective, like you said. So.
But to your point, I think, you know, not always having a chain restaurant, having those independent restaurants, which are a harder sell to kind of get up and get going. But we've definitely seen a lot more of them and a lot more successful ones.
All comes down to perspective, probably.
Yeah.
Because like when we go to Edmonton and we go to Calgary and these places, like the options, that's what we were kind of used to. Yeah. But when we come back to Grande Prairie, it's like we're like, oh yeah, we're back in Grande Prairie. Right? It's the same options, pretty much.
That's fair. But you know, you could go to Edmonton. You can, you know, take a little trip, enjoy some food.
5.5 hours.
Have you been to Carrie West yet?
No, not yet.
Oh,
not yet.
Okay. Well, you'll have to check that out. Good food.
Yeah,
good food,
I've been
good
told.
times.
You're gonna ask the question, Ness. Don't remember? Okay, but that leads us directly into social life, right? Now, probably Joan would not, like, I don't want to assume, but what?
He's assuming.
Yes,
he's assuming. But tell me, what does social life look like for you in Grande Prairie?
Lots of dinners, whether it's at like someone's house or at a restaurant. We go to a lot of movies.
Okay.
We go to plays.
Okay.
And in the winter, I watch a lot of hockey because my nephews or nieces are playing.
So, us parties, hockey, movies.
Yes.
Probably.
Okay. What about you, Mara?
Yeah, I said theater too, and I feel like you guys are judging me right now
we're not.
on my options.
Yeah, shout out Grande Prairie Life.
That's right.
Well, you like what you like, right?
Exactly.
You like what you like. It all comes down back to perspective as well. Yeah. What about you? Social life, Grande Prairie.
Do I have a social life? I'm an entrepreneur right now, so.
So non-existent. Non-existent.
No, I mean, chamber events is one of the big ones for me. I mean, I got to relate it to business a little bit, but, you know, I go down the street to 92 Bevco every once in a while, meet a friend after work. You know, recreational wise, I'm a fisherwoman, so I like to go do that. Social life. I mean, I used to play recreational volleyball, but I got injured. What else do I do? Walks, Muskogee Park events, you know, held by the city, those community events or nonprofit galas. Those are always
social life in Grande Prairie.
Yeah. And you know what?
Fundraisers. Yeah. Honestly. Yeah.
This is as Grande Prairie as it gets.
Stereotyping.
This is as Grande Prairie as it gets. You can't make this up, right? Now, if it is that you are looking for social life that we are used to, like, like going out dancing, hanging out, chilling, putting on your nice clothes, going out late at night.
It's not here.
Room for improvements in Grande Prairie.
Okay,
So
that's fair.
that is fair. When we were growing up, they had those things.
What happened?
What
We
happened?
definitely, people stopped going out
Yeah.
of their house.
Yeah, the Spurs,
Oh
Rock
yeah, the
City.
Corral, Poorhouse.
Yeah, BJ's.
Snappers.
What?
Oh yeah.
So instead of it getting better, it got worse?
Well, I guess it's all perspective because I just don't know if I don't know if people are doing entertainment the same way, right? Maybe they're doing it more at house parties or at friends' house or community centers or whatever. That's like their private group of people instead of as a way to meet new people. But I'm not that demographic, so I don't know.
You know what? What you have highlighted is something that I particularly understand, but I have an issue with. And I'll tell you why. Now, for somebody who moves to Grande Prairie, right, I would not have a lot of friends, right? So we moved to Grande Prairie. Say, for example, I'm here by myself or I'm here with my family. We don't know anyone, for example. What we find is that a lot of persons in Grande Prairie are very cliquey. They went to school with this person, okay. They grew up with this person, okay. They have lived on the same block with this person, okay. And that's it.
They go through life.
It's
with
very
the same set
hard.
of persons.
Yeah, it's very hard to break into that
I totally get
circle
that.
of life. As let's call it that.
I can understand that
Yeah.
for sure.
I went out for dinner with some high school friends last night.
Hey, there you go.
And I do every Friday night. So yes, I understand.
There we
what
go.
you're
So that
talking
is why
about.
when we're talking about social life, right? Like for somebody like us who don't know anyone, there's not real opportunity to go out there and meet new people outside of
Work.
Well,
outside of business.
No. Your kids too. I found that was a big one. Your kids start going to school, you start meeting the parents at school. Your kids start playing soccer or, whatever. And then you start meeting people and talking to them and having those opportunities.
That's true.
I'll pose a question back at you. Then.
Absolutely.
What would you like to see? What's the solution in your opinion?
That's a fantastic question.
yeah.
What did that
answer,
question
I
look?
feel.
Yeah.
That's a fantastic question, actually. And the answer is not really straightforward. Now, for everyone, it might be different, right? But I find that there's not enough social activities outside of you have a lot of community activities, but when you go to these community activities, including even the chamber events, everyone is still cliquey.
Everyone knows each other.
Everyone knows each other. Everyone still groups in smaller groups of each other. So you are there, you're kind of feeling like a little bit of an outsider.
So what
right?
kind of event would work?
What type of event I think would work? And as I said, the answer is not very straightforward because it depends on the individual. But just events that encourage networking more, that encourage more socializing and interaction. So even if you go to a chamber events, for example, and I'm probably picking on the chamber because that's what stands out in my mind because we were pretty recently there, right?
We'll defend it.
But like when we go to a chamber events, you're there. Then you have the persons give recognition for the years of services that took place. And then, you have your door prizes and stuff. It's done. There's nothing else geared to if persons are not going to network and interact, you have to encourage it.
See, and I'm going to fight you on that because I found that's...
Fight me, John.
I am.
Fight me.
I feel like those mixers are the most blatant form of networking that I can think of. You walk in there and it's like a hand. Oh, hi, who are you? Where do you work? Like it's specifically about networking businesses. And I think it's blatant there. If you're showing up right at the end when the door prize draw is, yeah, that's the end of the event. If you show up at 5, I think you'd see a different side of it.
Well, agree to disagree. And this is me fighting back.
That's fair.
Well, I don't usually show up at 5, actually. I've only been to 2, by the way. I haven't really showed up. I've never showed up at 5, but 5:30 is not that far from 5. I'm usually there at 5:30. And by the time I get there, it's like everyone is already grouped up. this is my circle, that's my triangle right there, that's my square right there. And then you stand and you might have the odd person that comes up to you and be like, hey, what is it that you do? But for the vast majority of persons, they spend the entire night just networking with who they know. That's my point.
You're right. You're absolutely right. I think as professionals and people who are going to networking events, it's actually up to us to make sure that we're going up to people. I personally make it a point of like, if there's somebody who's new or I'm bringing a guest, I'm bringing them around to introduce them to people, and I'm going to other circles. It's like, okay, it's very nice to talk with you. Now I'm going to go introduce them to that person. So I think it really comes down to us. We got to make the effort.
But what if you're shy? I'm shy.
Oh, well.
I'm shy.
I don't think you're shy.
You're going to overcome it. Like, if you're too shy in that environment, because we know you're not shy, right?
Yeah, but I'm just being a pessimist, right?
Yeah.
But that's okay. Let's move on, guys, and let's talk about dating in Grande Prairie.
Okay, let's do
I'm
that.
nervous about this
So-
one, but
So Joanne is married, so she probably doesn't do a whole lot of dating. I don't know. I'm assuming again.
You are assuming correctly.
But now, from your perspective, and this is probably strictly hypothetical, right? But what do you think dating in Grande Prairie looks like? And by dating, what I mean is someone who's single, how do they meet someone?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm the wrong person to ask. I've known my husband since grade 1.
Oh,
Just to help
my
your
point.
stereotype.
My point.
Just to help your stereotype. Yes, and I have no idea how people date. I assume, I have friends who have met online, and I have friends who have met in the workplace, and, or you get set up on blind dates. I'm not very helpful in this area.
Okay, let's move that over to Mariah.
I don't know why you're asking me, because I've been dating the same person for like many, many years, but probably about 5 years now. So I haven't been on the dating scene for quite some time. But I think kind of like most of communities these days, it's an online, in your community circles. Like if you're going to events, you might meet somebody. But yeah, I think the landscape overall, in general, I think is online. I know when I first started my marketing career, I was helping somebody here do like a speed dating event
Yeah.
and
I
those
think they
kind of
should
things.
still do that.
Well, I mean, no, you can do it. You can bring it up.
Why do you-
Good to do that.
Yeah.
Why do you think you know what the dating scene's like in Grande Prairie, Tasha?
Because I'm looking for date to see. I'm looking.
What are you looking for?
yeah,
What are you looking for?
I'm looking for dates. No, the thing is, you have
What are you
person.
What exactly are you looking for?
Okay, choose your answer very carefully.
No, the thing is, you always have persons saying they come to Canada, they can't meet anyone, they can't get the dates, they can't meet. So I'm just curious, why is it that persons can't meet? Why there's a
The divide.
separation? Yeah, why?
And I
What's the
can
problem?
understand what you're saying, because like before coming to Grande Prairie, like I didn't even know most of these dating apps that I'm
Dating
hearing
apps,
about.
dating
Like
apps.
the Plenty of Fish
Our
and the
society
Tinder
is
and the
not dating
like
apps.
yeah.
We're not from a society of dating apps.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so that was pretty new to us. So
how do people meet?
and that's why we are asking, because persons ask us this every day, right?
Yeah.
So we get these questions all the time on our social media, like, okay, I'm a single person coming. What are the opportunities to meet someone? And the point blank matter is, it's all online. And like in our society, you see an attractive person, somebody who you're interested in, you have a conversation.
That's it.
You
That's
say,
the
hey, how's it going?
conversation.
How's your day going? Whatever it may be.
And you don't think you can have a conversation here?
I think it's the line is so thin.
Then you have to be careful.
You have
what
to be
say.
it's like you're constantly in the back of your head, because in Grande Prairie society, and the truth of the matter is persons are easily offended.
Yes.
So you don't know what line not to cross. You might just be telling someone that, hey, I like your hair. And just for example. And they might take it offensive.
Yeah.
So I think the opportunity to do that is less. And a lot of persons do, and we're talking as on behalf of all the persons who are coming and want to meet someone, right?
I don't know. I have a hard time picturing someone telling someone else that their hair looks nice and them getting mad about it.
It's an hypothetical.
wanna hear
It's an hypothetical. It's an example.
I know, but I'm pushing back.
And I'll bring up a point again.
Yeah.
The opportunity in Grande Prairie is to create these things. There's space to create
That
these
is
things.
true.
Oh, the speed dating thing.
That is true.
You want it, you
Okay.
got it. Go
Yeah.
out and create it. Like
Speed date.
I'll
We're
just
gonna do the speed
challenge.
date thing.
I'll challenge you on that.
And of course,
see
we're
how it
talking
goes.
about all things Grande Prairie from a holistic perspective, right? So at the end of this episode, persons should know exactly what Grande Prairie has to offer. That's our goal. So I'm happy that we're having these conversations. But you might try to create these opportunities and then no one shows up. Because everyone is at their dinner party with their friends hanging out.
But you gotta try it. You gotta try it first. The market decides, right? Like
Yeah.
how it's kind of evolved from like that nightlife. You know, like Spurs isn't here, Rock Cities isn't here anymore. It's just like the market decides. If people aren't going out and doing that, and the population is growing older, they're a working population. Like as a business owner, like I'm gonna go bankrupt if nobody's showing up, right?
That's right.
So it's like the market decides, right?
That's right.
And I still think there's like, there's places in town that have live music every Friday night. And there's places that you can go and get like a sophisticated drink, or you can go and build a puzzle. It's
Build a
I think
puzzle.
there's stuff out there. I think there's
She's
stuff out
judging
there.
you.
I know.
She's judging.
And
I don't do that.
I think it's on the upswing too. Like you see places like 92 Bevco and Latitude 55, they've just kind of entered that market, that downtown kind of nightlife that they want to see. So I think it's on the upswing a little
I
bit.
should probably
But
check
even
out.
more long-term ones like the Crown and Anchor.
Yeah.
Live music every weekend. Better Than Fred's has live music. Or, sorry, Better Than Fred's does too, but Red Rock as well, you know? So.
But that's also part of my point that it's the same thing. If you go to Better Than Fred's, you have been to the Crown. If you've gone to the Crown, then you've been to Red Rock. If you've been to Red Rock, then you've been to...
vibe.
It's the same thing
just the same
anywhere
thing.
you go.
There's
There's
nothing
not
different.
much. And again, it's opportunity, right? It's an opportunity to create that ambience, that vibe that you're looking for. But what's there right now? And if you're watching this podcast or you're in Grande Prairie and you have one of those places and you need to mix it up, send me a message. I promise
why
you.
do they need to mix it up if people are going to those places for those things?
But it's the same demographic of persons who's going to those things.
Okay, so that's the key. You're saying there's a demographic who doesn't have a place to go.
Exactly.
See?
Which brings me to my other point of inclusivity and diversity in Grande Prairie. The opportunity is there, but is Grande Prairie truly inclusive and diverse?
I think it's way more diverse than when I was a kid.
Facts. I wasn't there as a kid, but
I do not think it's done, but I can tell you that it's definitely changed. The landscape of it's changed. The people you see when you walk the halls have changed. They're not all stereotypical. I've seen like our school division, we just updated our website so that you can look at it in different languages because we understand that not every parent or child speaks English, and it's been a bombardment of people who don't speak English and or learning English and just trying to figure out how to support them. So is it diverse? Yeah. Is it finished diversifying? No.
that's
No, it's an evolution. It's
Yeah.
constantly growing. You see different incentives for, accessibility for businesses to, make those upgrades and make it more welcoming for people. I think it's the scale that continues to go on. So it's getting better. We're working on it, I would say.
I can agree somewhat to say that I can definitely see where there is efforts being made in some aspects, but I still think there is a lot of room for improvement in other aspects, right? Now, Grande Prairie as a city has grown drastically over your lifetimes, let alone over the past 10 years. Persons from all multiplicity of backgrounds are coming to Grande Prairie. Now, persons in the hours of change, like you have seen different cultures, different ethnicity, different everything coming into the city. But when you look on the city's calendar of events, it's the same calendar of events year after year after year after year. There's nothing to suggest that the city has changed?
Oh, I will challenge you.
Do it.
Sorry.
That's
but
okay. That's why we're here.
What's on the calendar upcoming in February? We've got Black History Month events going on. Okay, so we're doing it big. We're having a few different events. There'll be the first ever Black History Month proclamation by the city of Grande Prairie. I think that's huge.
That is
It's a big moment for us.
Can you
and
repeat that? Because I didn't know about that. But are these things being advertised so that persons know that these things are being done?
Yeah.
But
they
that's
are.
a trick question because you can advertise till you're blue in the face. If someone isn't open to hearing what's going on or looking for themselves, they're not going to find it.
True.
Yeah, so I just think that it's an evolution. It's continuously growing, changing, and as we see more people immigrate to Canada, that means more people in our population to do community work because a lot of these things are community volunteer led, right?
Yeah.
So, and we're a working town, but we're very, very community focused. So that's the opportunity is come here and build those things for your community. Put in some of your time to contribute to those things.
See, I love having these conversations. You can probably tell. Like, I love having these conversations because we were even at the inclusivity and diversity
You remember the name?
Yes.
meeting
With the city of Grande
with the
Prairie.
city of Grande Prairie, and they almost kicked me out because I was like, I'm joking, by the way. Like, we had a very fulfilling conversation, and these were some of the things that I asked. I'm like, okay, then. So we have Experience Grande Prairie, for example. We have different activities throughout the year, but why is there not a culturally inclusive event that you encourage persons to come to, like, for whatever you're gonna call, like a Curry West, for example, not necessarily as big as a Curry West or whatever, but like something that allows persons to show their food, show their music, show their culture, as a way also for persons like Joan, who's never lived outside of the general demographic, can also see what other cultures has to offer.
So it takes someone to spearhead that. It honestly does. Like the city, I don't speak for the city, but like people want different events. People want different, especially different food, right?
Yeah.
Everyone loves food. So
Facts.
I think the culture aspect, showing it off and doing an event, it takes a committee to spearhead it. And I think there's the opportunity to do that.
Opportunity.
There's Heritage Day, I believe, in August.
Yeah,
think I
I haven't been to it in years.
But that is one of those events.
There's
where
an Heritage Day? I did not know that.
There's different cultures that are showcased for that day.
Okay.
So there is that, and then you've got all the different associations. So you've got Cam Prairie, you've got the Caribbean Association, and all those kind of those niche.
Is that still active?
Caribbean Association, I think they're just rebuilding. Like a lot of people after the COVID-19 pandemic, you see a decrease in engagement because there's not really a lot of opportunities to engage. And then now you're trying to build that all up. And that's a real challenge. So I'm not sure what they're doing right now, but they're still going.
Okay, let's switch the topic a little bit more. We'll talk about inclusion and diversity dating. Thank you guys for sharing.
Sharing nothing.
Yeah.
Sharing
nothing. Yeah.
But let's talk about the growth of Grande Prairie. Is there room for more people to come to Grande Prairie? Or do you think Grande Prairie has reached the ceiling and no one else should come?
I think there's so much more opportunity for growth. We have so much, there's land
and the government of Alberta believes there is too. Looking at this report that was, I can't remember where it was, but it showed in the next 30 years, number one growth is going to be in Calgary, number two is in Edmonton, and number three is Grande Prairie. So
why Grande Prairie is not number one, Mr. Government?
well, I think it's the international airport that holds us back. We don't have that. But the fact that they see those numbers, our school division, we continually see the need. We've grown in the last 3 years. We've grown 12%.
Oh, that's big.
It is big, and it doesn't seem to be slowing down. So we need to continually strive to support all of these, whether they're newcomers to Canada or newcomers to Grande Prairie or the province. It doesn't matter, but I think there's room to grow. And I mean, we got nothing but prairies. We got room.
Yeah. Now, Maria, why should someone move to Grande Prairie?
Yeah. Well, I should. So obviously the opportunity, if
Mm-hmm.
you want to find community, I think that's great. I think you two disagree, but I think
No,
there's strong community here.
we don't disagree.
Okay,
Actually,
okay.
like we are just being the pessimists, right?
Okay, cool.
We 100% encourage people to come to Grande Prairie.
Yeah.
Our entire channel
This
is
is
based
what
on
Grande
that.
Prairie
Just
is.
advertising the city.
Okay,
and
well.
I'm telling people about Grande Prairie. So
You can find real good people here. Like you really can.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
We have found really good people here. So,
And one
you know.
thing people don't talk about is we always say, "Oh, it's so cold." It only is cold for a few days, okay?
No,
we get
it's
these
cold.
Don't ask
No,
Tasha.
don't do that. No, no, no.
no, I must disagree.
Sunny
No,
winter
no,
days.
no.
Absolutely.
Guys,
You
it's
get-
+7 out there
Yeah.
today. In
Yeah.
the middle of the end of January. So, yeah.
the beautiful
It's still
sunny
cold.
winter days, okay? It's
Guys, you
good
can't
for
see
your
my
skin.
face, guys.
It is still cold.
It's all perspective, I believe.
and in the summer, the long summer
Yeah.
days.
It's
Yes.
beautiful in the
Yeah,
summer.
It's great.
So let's address this cold situation. First and foremost, guys, she is right. It's not generally cold 365 days a year, but winter is long,
Not this
And-
year.
and winter is not just about it being cold. It's about it
dark.
being dark. It's about it being depressing. It's
Oh,
about all the other
yeah.
factors that
know.
comes with it.
It is dark. You know, sun in the middle. When it's really bad, it comes up at like what 8:30 and goes down at 5. But during the day, it's sunny. It's bright. We have sun. It's not like Vancouver where it's gray and rainy.
Yeah.
No.
When I moved to Vancouver Island, that was my biggest complaint. It would rain, rain, rain. You would never see the sun. And I said, I miss the sun so bad. I would rather snow.
Take me back to Grande Prairie.
Yeah, and I went.
And
I went
on the
back.
flip side, like those summers, you don't get that anywhere. Well, I guess you do a little bit, but having the sunshine
Yeah.
until 12:30.
12:30.
That's
I
awesome.
love summer.
that.
Yeah, it's great.
I love summer. Summer is the only time I'm in a good mood. Can you tell? I'm in a bad mood. Like in winter, you don't want to see me. But on and all, like the summers are beautiful. 100%. Winter, not so much. I'm not going to lie. I hate winter.
I'm not a fan, but it's not as bad as other places.
Well,
Let's agree to
I
disagree.
can't compare it to nowhere else, and this is bad.
There's not many places that's worse than Grande Prairie in the winter.
Okay,
though.
well, what are you guys doing outside in the winter?
Nothing. Because we got
Nothing.
no friends here. It's so hard to make friends here.
Have you thought about going skiing or snowshoeing or
No,
hiking
and no,
or
and
skating
No.
Or hunting.
or
No.
hunting? Yeah.
no. Outside is
Or
cold.
ice fishing?
Outside is cold.
So let's
Dress for it.
let's invite ourselves to Maria's next fishing excursion.
Yes, I actually have one too.
Yeah?
I have one planned, and we can bring a tent, and you'll experience.
Sorry, I'm
Lord.
sorry.
No,
Is this in the
bring a-
summer?
bring a
Is
tent.
this in the summer?
No.
No, it's in the winter.
Winter.
Okay, let's change the topic. Okay.
I would love to see Tasha in a tent.
Hey,
I'm joking, but honestly though, we'd love to experience that. The thing is, we would love to experience all of these things, but we've been trying to break into some of the social spaces that does it. But it's so hard to break into it because everyone is so cliquey here, as I spoke about before, that it's like, you're trying to get in. I have never skied before. I don't want to break my leg. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do.
They give
right?
lessons at the ski hill.
They do?
They do.
What's give me another
Cross country
excuse.
skis, you're not going to fall very far because you're on the ground. So you could try out there too.
Give
no
me
ex-
another
there's
excuse.
no
That's not
excuse.
working
It's-
out.
It's cold.
It's cold.
not
Okay,
going
oh,
outside.
it's too cold. It's too cold outside.
+7, folks.
But a lot of it is really just down to us just liking what we like and,
Yeah.
and probably
Yeah.
probably we need to be a little bit more open to
We all do.
to winter sports especially because we just stay inside most times throughout the winter and then complain about winter. And like, I hate winter. I'm going to work. I hate winter. I'm going home. I hate winter.
Yes.
Right? Every day going grocery shopping. I hate winter.
Well, how do you find a way to like it though? Like that's you can continuously say that you don't like it. I'm having a bad time, but like, what can you find that you do like about it? Right?
About winter?
Yeah.
It's a tough question.
Have you built a snowman?
No.
I tried it once.
You did?
Once since 2019?
Yes.
Never.
And it wasn't a snowman, it was a snow angel.
He did a snow angel.
Snow angels. Okay. Okay, your girls would love a snowman. Make a snow kitty. Unicorn.
I need to get the kids out first before we can make it.
What about,
Yeah.
They
what
don't
about
like
the
it
Northern
outside.
Lights? Like, we don't talk about that. We see Northern Lights constantly. It's
I've
beautiful.
never
You know
seen.
we've never
I've
seen
never
it?
seen it.
It's because you're inside, folks.
Yes. That's right. We've never seen it,
Never
but
seen it.
we either barely miss it or
I'm not going out
are we
because
in bed? Yeah.
Yeah.
Too cold.
Yes.
I'm sometimes I'm like, hey, Nats, do you want to go down and see
No.
the Northern Lights? So, no, I'm going to bed. I'm like, okay, I'm going to bed too. That's what it is. But it's really interesting when you talk about Grande Prairie, because oftentimes a lot of persons don't even know about Grande Prairie. And that's why we do what we do. But Grande Prairie is an amazing city. Let me just say that. Like, Grande Prairie has blessed us personally so much since being here that there's not many places that we can say we would have been able to achieve some of the stuff that we've achieved thus far, right? Career growth, personal life, professional life, fantastic. Room for improvement, absolutely. One of my biggest complaints is social life. I'm a social butterfly, and when I can't find anywhere to go and anything to do, you know something is wrong. Absolutely, because I blend. I'm a chameleon. I blend in wherever I go. But that's just one of the things that the city needs to work on. But I don't know. I think it's a fantastic city, right? I encourage anybody to come to Grande Prairie, 100%.
Us too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think, showing other people that might come here, and you're doing great work on YouTube and all that kind of stuff on social media to just show that perspective. And I think it shows leadership if, like, we bring people who are coming from different places into our circles and being ambassadors and showing them the real Grande Prairie
Yeah.
and bringing them in so that they do feel welcomed. I think
Yeah.
we all
Like
have a
introduce,
responsibility.
invite us to those dinner parties.
Sorry, we didn't go to school together.
Oh, that's cool. Ooh, that's okay. Invite us ice fishing or whatever there is to do here.
Whatever.
No, the thing is, we want to experience it. We want to, we know we like what we like, right? You guys like what you like. But we want to experience it to be like, hey, Maria, is there anything? Is this it?
Yeah,
this
we're
it?
like, okay.
We're going to stand in the snow and just fish try and get a fish?
Have you ever fished not in the winter?
No,
Yeah, I've not
fished.
fished even in the summer.
Okay. Yeah.
we have never tried those stuff.
Maybe summer first.
Maybe summer first.
Yeah.
I think so too. I think so too. Okay, so but in closing, I'll always give my guest the final word, right? Now we're talking about Grande Prairie, everything you need to know about Grande Prairie. We got Joan, highly influential, Maria, equally influential. Guys, what would you like to say to the thousands of persons who are watching this video about the city of Grande Prairie in closing?
You want to go first?
In closing, well, I guess it's a great place to live. It's a great place to raise your kids. It's got everything you need in a not huge city, and not a small town. And I guess our theme word was opportunities. So I think the opportunities there, whether it's for business or for schooling or for nightlife, come here and create it because apparently it's needed.
It's highly needed, guys.
Highly needed.
Guys, you will take my word for it. You know this already.
Come to Grande Prairie and then put yourself out there.
Yeah.
I think you'll do well.
And download a dating app before you get here because you're gonna need it. A dating app in order to meet someone. But anyways,
Give us a chance. Give Grande Prairie a chance. Integrate yourself here. Try and find your community circles, whether you love sports or, nightlife or creativity. You have to come here and create that community and make your imprint on the world here. People are open to doing things, but like we said earlier, you got to kind of create some of those opportunities that aren't quite here yet. And yeah, just enjoy Grande Prairie because there is a lot of good people wanting to do good things here.
absolutely. And I don't remember who said it, if it's Einstein, but don't quote me. But there's actually a saying that when there's something's missing, there is opportunity. right? So absolutely, there's opportunity for businesses. There's opportunities for integration. Whole lot of opportunities. And I just want to thank you guys for coming on today, guys. I really appreciate it. Mariah, M3M Marketing. Check it out on Instagram. Check it out on TikTok. Check it out on Facebook. M3M Studios as well. Fantastic, fantastic, fantastic work. If you're in Grande Prairie and you're looking for a space to do not only your podcast, but anything creative, video, photography, she got a cinematography, what's the word?
Easy for you to say.
The cinematography or the cyclorama wall?
The cyclorama wall. That's what it is, right? So you can come and you can just book a spot and get whatever you need done. And Joan here, she wears so many hats, guys. Let's put that out there, right?
We work together.
Well, Nats is my boss, so that's okay. So I'm at the bottom of the food chain right here, guys, so that's okay. Well, on and out, fantastic ladies, fantastic conversation. Thank you guys so much for being so open. And you know what? Taking my pushback.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah,
Nats,
you bet.
anything you want to say?
Thank you guys for coming on this week. And thank you guys for watching this podcast. If you haven't watched the previous ones, go ahead and watch it. Next week, we'll have a awesome podcast coming your way.
Next week we have something very interesting planned. We're not going to share anything yet, but you have to stay tuned to find out. So you have to subscribe, smash a like, and drop a comment. And see you guys in the next video. Peace.
Bye.